what you have to say today.
Absolutely. So, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Shana Gourdine. But before I actually start, I want to read y'all a poem. It's called She Showed Up. She showed up for yourself. She showed up. She showed up for herself. She showed up for her kids. When that moment when you recognize in order to be true to who you are, you have to show up. She showed up for as a mother. Many times we forget in order to be present, you have to show up for the ones we love. She showed up bold and fierce. She showed up with faith and no fear. She showed up with love and compassion, and she showed up with knowledge and power. She stands up with her head held high. She showed up with grace and mercy. She showed up with forgiveness and healing. She showed up with joy and happiness. She showed up with power and glory, standing tall in the presence for her fellow queens. She showed up with respect and honor. She showed up with discovery and peace. She showed up with strength and wisdom, strong healing and empowerment, which stands for she. Always showing up for yourself, one you love, giving grace to the queens that she knows. She showed up for her and she showed up for 2026. She showed up elevated. She showed up for love. She showed up with knowledge and she showed up for wisdom. I read that because that is one of the poems I wrote to show my strength and to get through a lot of things because I have to remember that despite it all, I'm not just showing up for me, I'm showing up for others. So today, I will be talking about my book called The Mask Behind the Mask and how it relates to Black History Month. And I want to thank everyone today for me to be here on this panel. At times, we don't just remember history, we unmask it. We peel back the layers. We listen to the stories that we were silenced. We honor the voice that we refuse to stay hidden. My journey as an author began as in my book, The Mask Behind the Mask, a book that was born from my truth. Many of us in Black communities understand. Sometimes we learn surviving by hiding. We've hide our pain. We've hide our brilliancy. We've hide our questions. We've hide our voice. And for the generations of people we forced to wear masks just because to exist. But God showed me something. What was that is hiding, surviving can become the very thing that keeps me from living. The revelations are leading me to my second book, which was Unveil the Broken Pieces of the Mask. Because once you start unmasking, you don't just see the surface. You see the cracks, you see the trauma, you see the generational patterns, you see the piece that we try to hold together with silence, strength, and prayer. And here's my spiritual truth God could not heal me what I was refusing to reveal. God couldn't restore what I was keeping, pretending is whole. Unveiling the broken pieces is uncomfortable, but it's the holy work. It's the work of my ancestors praying what we would have to do to be free. The survival of what it took me to heal, what I endured and what I evolved into. And that leads me to my second part of my third part of this trilogy, which is the evolution, and it inspired my third book, The Evolution of the Mass. It was my journey of being able to evolve the mass is about transformation. It's about stepping into my identity, my purpose, my strength, and my truth. It was about recognizing the mass that I was serving in the season, but it could not be the serve of my destiny. Black History Month remind me that our stories is the people of also the stories of evolution. From boundary to liberation, from silence to speech, from individuals' influence, from surviving to thriving. Our ancestors didn't fight for freedom, they fought for the right to be seen, to be known, to behold. And every time we tell our story, every time we heal out loud, every time we refuse to shrink, we honor that fight. So, celebrating this, I wanted to challenge all of us to unmask something. Unmask your fear, unmask your gift, unmask your calling, unmask the truth you've been carrying quietly, unmask the version of you that God has been trying to bring forward. Because when you unmask, we don't just free ourselves, we're free generations of connections of our names. My prayer is that this trilogy, The Mask Behind the Mask, Unveil the Broken Pieces of the Mask, and The Evolution of the Mask become the books that invite to step the fullness of God, of who He created you to be. This is our time. This is our history. This is our healing. And this is ours unmasking. And I thank you.
Wow. Amazing. Give her a big hand. Wasn't she fabulous? Oh my goodness me. That was amazing. All right. So we'll stop recording. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And